Welcome to Tush Twins on MalcolmPresents.com, a streaming network that I have my head is just above.
Yeah, it looked all you had there was your head.
Right, a streaming network heard around the world and beyond.
Right.
One day we'll find out how far beyond.
Bye.
Anyway,
Could be Mercury. They just took new pictures of Mercury.
maybe they'll send us to Mars.
Could be.
Can you imagine? I know they're sending signals out there, in outer space, trying to get either pictures or sound. Could you imagine you hear our voice? All of a sudden, they're doing. Who are the Tush Twins?
Well, we're living in a alternate universe, or
Anyway,
it doesn't. They're saying it's a different dimension we're in. I don't know. I can't answer that. It's all could be a hologram.
Well, if you can't answer it, then there's no answer.
Right,
because right, it's a hologram. So anyway, here we are, the Tush Twins. The drill. We're our friends forever, and we'll always be friends forever. And what can I say?
We have to have the friends. We will always be. Where does that come from?
Right.
That's from Howdy Doody. Is that Howdy Doody?
No.
Friends?
No,
That's from a movie. Friends.
No. That's from a TV show.
I think it's a show or something.
I think it's a movie.
I know what show. That was Paul Winchell and Winchell Mahoney show.
No, it was from like from an old movie.
We will
with like Gene Kelly and
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank because my mind
is blank.
My mind is mush lately.
Anyhow,
so
get on with the show.
You know us. We are the Tush Twins, and 60 plus years of craziness and love and all great stuff, because we have we complete each other's sentences sometimes. She sent me a picture of a burger, and I asked her, was it a chow mein on a bun? Didn't look like it, but hey.
But that's as close as I could get.
If everyone's from Coney Island and remember Nathan's chow mein on a bun, I'm gonna get me some this weekend.
Yes, you are.
Not at Nathan's, but
you're going to Nathan's?
No, I'm going to New Jersey version of Nathan's. Anyway,
really? They
have one. It's called.
They have a really, really good Chinese restaurant, a takeout place by me, and they have the best chow mein. The best chow mein is since I've left Brooklyn.
Chow mein is not Chinese.
I bought crispy noodles.
We're aware.
It's Chinese American.
It's a Chinese American.
Well, we know that.
We do.
It's number one.
It's number one.
I
had number 7. I had number 7 was ribs. Spare ribs, fried rice. Yep.
Number 1 was chicken chow mein,
right.
Egg roll.
Egg roll, right.
Combination
wonton soup.
Combination plate on Jade Mountain on Brighton Beach Avenue. That was our favorite. That was my favorite. And you went to New Deal also.
Or New Deal.
Chicken egg drop.
Chicken egg drop.
I love tomato egg drop.
Because you're a whack job.
Yeah. Well,
that's because you eat tomato egg.
That's because you had red hair.
That's the redhead in you. The tomato in you. So we thought we'd there's so much craziness going on in the world. And I must have said this on every podcast for the last 3 weeks.
Really? Craziness? I don't know what craziness is.
I can't. We don't want to touch any of that stuff. We want to just kind of go back a little in time and maybe into the future. Who knows? But we were thinking about, what are we going to talk about? And then there was an article, because there was something on the Today Show about this couple in New Jersey that they're going to New Jersey has like the most diners of any state, apparently. I don't know if that's true.
Yes, they do. We're called the diner capital of the world.
So anyway, this couple, I'll get into it a little after, but there's 415 diners in New Jersey, and they made a pact to go to all of them throughout the state. That's 415 diners. They're up to 212. And we'll get back to the story, but that's what planted this in my brain. because we went to diners in Brooklyn a lot. I mean, it was a thing. You go, go on a date, go to a diner, go bowling, go to a diner, go, go have a school play after, go to a diner, have a softball game, go to the diner. It was a thing, right, Paul? It was
Yeah,
just
Yeah, that's it. We used to go to the diner all the
the
time.
diners were open late. Some of them
They-
24/7.
right. You can go there at any time. So if you went in a movie, you got out at 11, you with a date or with friends, let's go
Yep.
to Flames, right?
We used to go
Foursome,
Flame. We used to go to Foursome.
the
That was the big
Flame,
one.
the Foursome was big.
What was the one off of Avenue U, on Avenue U,
That
just
was the
past
Foursome.
That was the foursome,
Nostrand
I think.
Avenue?
I think that was the
Foursome.
foursome.
That was the
That's where I know
Foursome.
you from.
Yeah, you saw us there they
We
had
used to go there
really,
after dates.
yes, we used to go there and they had really great egg creams. Like with the
And good
U-net
lemon meringue
and
pies.
shakes. The lemon meringue pie was a thing. What was the thing with lemon meringue pie? What it
I
was like in
don't know.
every one we went to, we'd have to have lemon
I had to
meringue
have a
pie.
lemon meringue pie. Even Les
So
wanted lemon
and
meringue
then
pie.
El
I never
Greco.
liked the lemon meringue
Yeah,
pie.
I
That's
don't
why I
know.
moved out. That's why I
That's why
moved out
you
of Brooklyn.
oh really? So
Yeah.
you
And the
so you
7-layer cake was also a
so
big
so
one.
what do you do in LA? You go to Marie Callender's, is that it?
Ugh.
No,
Bleh.
my
Although
wife
people
makes this.
love it. People love it.
Marie Callender's.
Excuse me. If I was in LA, I go only place I would go to is diners.
Yeah, Diners
I,
is
I don't know if they have diners. I don't offhand.
Diner.
No,
No,
Dinah,
not diners.
Dinah. They have
Oh,
the
Diners.
best fried chicken and the
A-
best German
Apple,
apple
German.
pancake.
Yep, I was
no,
there
no. For
last
fried
year.
chicken, you go to Roscoe's
Where's
No.
Roscoe's?
in
Where's
Hollywood.
yeah.
Hollywood.
No.
Okay, gotta
No,
try
you
that.
have to go Culver City
Southern fried
diners.
It's right
chicken.
near the airport. It's literally like a couple mile two after from the airport. We
We were
went
staying at a hotel nearby there and
right.
we were starving. We got in late, you remember? And we
Hmm.
were looking for a place to eat. And we saw a bunch of cop cars sitting at the restaurants. We said, hey, how bad could it be?
Right, they're gonna
Oh
have
my
something.
God.
Well, little did we know that though. My familia there would go. They would go. I mean, it was Phil would go a lot. As a matter of fact, after Phil's unveiling, the whole family went to diners because we were given
That's how
his.
it's
Well,
We was like, okay, we got to do that because
I,
that was
I
a
I live
thing.
over the hill, so I'm unfamiliar with that.
Yeah, you're the Valley boy.
If we want
the
something at night,
valley.
we go In-N-Out Burger, which I
That's
understand is only in California. It's
yeah.
not.
There's nothing close to that
There's
here,
nothing like it in, no, not
and
even
it's
close.
really good actually. In-N-Out
Yeah,
Hmm.
Burger,
it's the best I
Yeah.
found. In-N-Out Burger, and they
of
make
any
the
of
fresh fries.
yeah, it's again, I've been going to LA since I'm like 7 or 8. So that's over
Hmm.
60 years. Never, I said this before, I've never gone to Pink's for a hot dog. Not
And
one
Oh,
yeah,
I've
time.
gone to Pink's.
thanks.
I have to get, I don't know
Your
how
brother
many
took me. Mitchie
I
took me.
we were supposed to go a million times and it just didn't happen. I
I
never
I
got to
I,
go to
I
Pink's.
think I told you the story that when I was working for one of the radio stations, they had a trade with a limo service. So
Oh no.
when I'd go to a play with a client,
Hmm.
we didn't have time to go to a good restaurant because the place started at 8. So and everybody got out about 6, so we didn't have time for a good restaurant. So what I did is I got one of our the limos, and we stopped at Pink for a hot dog for at
Mm.
Pink's.
Just right
So
outside.
we would
Yeah,
take the
that's
hot dogs, eat in the limo, have a glass of wine, and then go to the play.
the closest thing to Pink's near me is a
Yeah.
place called Walters. And it is
Well, yes.
it's legendary in Westchester. It's like a legendary place. And if you look Walters up, you'll see. And that's like the closest in terms of like people just go to Walters. They'll go out of their way to go to Walters.
Really? Yeah, no.
It's towards the sound. It's on the east side of Westchester.
Well,
And
when you guys went out on a date,
Hmm.
generally the guy drove, right? If you had the car,
Right.
the
most of
guy's
the
car.
time, although I
So
drove too.
Yeah, but
I
you
didn't.
guys, so you would go to the diner with your dates, or they would take you there,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
food.
they would.
Yes.
Most of the time, the guys would drive, but on
Yes.
occasion, I drove when I got my license. But it was
But,
mostly with girls. It was mostly
oh,
with the softball team or the the theater, the sing people, and then that stuff. You were in all city, so you stayed away. You were in
I
sing
stayed
though.
over.
Were you sing at all?
No.
One sing?
Nope.
Not one?
Nope.
In the
Nope.
course of one sing? Are you
Nope.
sure?
I
You
was positive.
you gave everyone the finger.
I gave everyone the
the
finger.
finger.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
and choose it.
She had a
No,
better
well,
voice anyway. It doesn't matter.
I remember when we would, if we didn't go out, most of the time I didn't go out double with the friends. We went out single.
Mhm.
And then, or I would go out with my friend, we double date, drop the girls off, and then go out to eat.
Yeah, guys
We
would do
wouldn't
that a lot
necessarily
because you,
take them for a
Yeah.
snack.
yeah,
And
you
this
would,
could
of
be like
course,
1, 2 o'clock in the
1, 2 in
morning.
the morning.
Morning.
Absolutely. It's like,
And
No, 1, 2 in the morning, we used to end up going into the city
no,
doing
sometimes.
something.
the city
Yeah.
was
Well, that was when we were
off
a little
limits.
older. I don't think it was high
Yeah.
school.
Well,
No,
we,
high school. I didn't date in high school. I
Yeah,
didn't date till
yeah,
I was 18.
yeah.
yeah,
I
you
went.
said, I remember back one of our shows, you said you only had one date in high school,
Yeah. Yeah, and he
which
yeah,
is unbelievable.
yeah,
Let's
one date.
not start
Don't
there.
even go there.
We will we will
Don't
But
see.
even
anyway,
go there.
Well,
being a Coney Island boy, we used to meet all the friends, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning or later at Nathan's,
yeah.
No,
and we'd
we used to go
stand
to
up,
Nathan's too.
and we ate. I think if I ate it today, I wouldn't be able to sleep the night. You eat a hot dog,
Oh,
Charmaine sandwich.
right. Chow mein
But
on a
how
bun,
did you,
baby.
excuse me, because my mom did the same thing. How did you pronounce that?
Charmaine.
Charmaine
Chicken
versus
Charmaine.
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 That's how
Charmaine.
we,
Charmaine,
it's
like
chow mein.
Char. It's chow.
Right, like
It's
Charmaine instead
chow.
of chow mein.
I always called it,
Charmaine
we
is a
always call her
Brooklyn thing,
Charmaine. Yeah,
right?
I'm
Yep.
cooking chicken Charmaine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Brooklyn, man.
I'm from Brooklyn, Charmaine.
That's
Brooklyn.
so funny because everyone would say to me, it's chow mein. So now I say chicken chow mein.
Yeah, I say
But
chow mein, but I think back then I think we said Charmaine.
we only
Charmaine.
Charmaine.
We all
Yes, we
said
did. My
Charmaine.
mom. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
Good.
that's
And the thing
so.
which I never do now, like if I go to a Chinese restaurant, we never have ice cream after.
Oh, they don't do that
Oh,
anymore.
we had vanilla, van chalk straw, and pistachio.
I
And
had
Pistachio
vanilla.
was my favorite.
you had
Vanilla.
vanilla. I had pistachio also. I
And
I
a
like
meal,
vanilla.
a
I was
pistachio.
meal
very
was
boring.
a meal wasn't complete unless we had pistachio ice cream.
My father
My
always
mom would
said,
have kumquats, and
oh
so would your
yeah, so
dad.
my dad, my father
Right.
and your mom always had the
Ruthie and Lenny had
kumquats.
kumquats. Uh, it was a thing. I tasted one. I never liked it, and
No,
I never
and it
liked
was like
kumquats.
I had the ice cream, and they also
or
get
the pineapple.
pineapple chunks. I like
Yeah,
that.
I had the pineapple.
Right,
But
pineapple
my
ice cream
father
and
always said
kumquats.
ice cream, you always had to eat ice cream after Chinese because it cut the
Absolutely,
grease. It
exactly.
Right.
made you feel better.
And every time I eat Chinese food, I try to have even if it's a spoonful, and then I really do. I go Lenny. So
So
that's
I missed that. But I'm going to my Chinese restaurant on Saturday, and
Yep.
I'm going to order my large portion of chicken chow mein.
Charmaine,
Charmaine.
like
I want some chicken
SHAR,
charmaine.
Charmin. Chicken. I wonder if you asked for chicken Charmaine, what they
Well,
would
I
say.
had
Only in Brooklyn.
I
no,
know.
I forget who it was. It was Joe Heller's nephew, who was an agent, and then he moved out to California, and he opened up a Chinese restaurant called Brooklyn Chinese,
Out there,
and they had all the Cantonese type of food. Until I moved to Manhattan, all I had was Cantonese type Chinese food.
pretty much.
I like Szechuan.
I like
Once I got
Most of it,
older, I moved out of Brooklyn. I only ate
but
Szechuan
Szechuan
Brooklyn
and
or
was Cantonese.
Mandarin.
Yep.
or Hunan.
Yeah.
Hunan.
Because
I had
Szechuan
Mandarin. Yeah, Hunan. Loved Hunan.
because
Still
Hunan
do.
and Szechuan are very hot,
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
spicy
spicy
hot.
stuff. But back in the day, the Chinese restaurants were mostly Cantonese.
Cantonese.
and it
It
was,
was
and
poo-poo platters.
yeah, poo-poo platters, egg rolls, all that good stuff. I mean, Phil and my mom would eat lobster Cantonese every time. And
It's not
I
kosher.
would I would love I didn't like the lobster, but I liked the
The
sauce.
sauce.
And I
Mhm.
would put the lobster sauce on white rice, and I was happier
Mhm.
than a pig, and you know what? And till this
Or
day, I still
we either had lobster or shrimp
lobster,
or
lobster or
shrimp.
shrimp. Yes. And yeah, and there's a place that Phil loved out in the Beverly Hills,
LA.
LA Pico area,
Foos.
is I think Foos.
Foos?
Which
Foos.
Foos is
Foos.
the same thing. It's like
F-U. F-U.
FU,
Apostrophe S.
FU apostrophe
F-U
S. Yep.
apostrophe S.
And it's the place. Yeah, it's
We
the
used to
place.
go there every time we go to LA. We'd always stop. The first night would be Foos.
Foos is the first
Mhm.
stop. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing.
There was
That
a
was
Chinese
good.
restaurant, a kosher Chinese called Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
It
Oh
was
my
in the
God.
Well,
valley.
there used to be a kosher Chinese restaurant in Manhattan. We went to once, and
Hmm.
we only went once.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, you gotta get the real deal.
Well,
It's
that's the old joke about this soldier that was stationed in, well, not Chinese, but in Korea.
Hmm.
And he's walking in Seoul, and one night, and he hears like a very familiar sound, and he walks into this hall, and it was a group of Koreans, and they all were davening. They were saying prayers in Hebrew, and they were
Hmm.
wearing yarmulkes. And he goes up to this guy and says, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" And the Korean says, "Well, we're davening. This is our religion." And they said, "This is your religion?" And the Korean says, "Yes, I'm Jewish." And the soldier says, "I'm Jewish also." And the Korean looks at him and says, "Funny, you don't look Jewish." I
that's
think I've
really
said that
cute.
some,
You say that a lot of
That's
times.
like
but at least you're laughing
our
again. So
rabbi Josh.
Well,
He was
Josh,
in
our
Korea.
nephew, right?
Yeah.
And that's how he eventually met his wife, because he was in the university there taking courses, and he
Hmm.
met every Friday night. They trying to get enough to have a minion,
A minion.
which is
and
a 10 man. That's not
right.
included. Still not
It
included women.
I don't
Still
No,
have to have 10 men.
I don't know. I think
now in the
now
reform, they're women.
in the
Now it's
reform
women.
you can. I don't know, but forget no on
No,
the Orthodox.
absolutely
But
not.
anyway, her Lynn's dad was there. He was a lawyer, a very prominent lawyer in Long Island, and he worked with Clinton campaign and all this stuff. And he was there as well for a while doing some conference or something, and he met Josh.
Hmm.
And then he goes, "Boy, I have a really nice daughter for you. This is South Korea we're talking
Yeah.
about."
If I got
And
So I
eventually,
have a daughter for you.
they met, and Josh would come to New York later on from LA. He'd fly in like once a
New
month,
York,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Come in from LA to New York like once a month to see Lynn, and then eventually he popped the question. They got married. They have 3 beautiful boys now, and that's where they met, davening in Korea.
In Korea.
There you
right?
But
go.
it's funny because I have a friend, his name is Bill, Michelle and Bill, and
Mm-hmm.
he once said to me, I said, I was in London and I was going to go to Brighton because I want to go to Temple in Brighton in England. He goes, why? There are Jews in England? I go, what? He goes, yeah, I didn't know there were Jews only in New York or in Israel. I go, there were Jews in China? There were Jews. He goes,
And,
really? There were Jews
oh my God.
outside of New York? And I'm going, what do you think,
Well,
California?
the most
He
Jews
was
are
really,
in Israel, and the second is New
it's
York,
New York.
and the third is England.
And
Yes.
third is England.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
France and Brazil. I think they're in
Mm-hmm.
the top 10. So I
Yeah.
read
Well,
that
when I got
recently.
married, and my wife is Salvadorian, she was raised as Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
She and her we're both not religious, so we're that religious, so it doesn't make a difference. Plus, she cooks great Jewish food. But someone bought me a card that says, "When you're in love and you open up, the world is Jewish."
Mm-hmm. That's a good card. I like that.
Yeah,
God, hello.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I
there?
keep.
You froze for
I
a
froze.
second,
So did you?
No,
but you're. I did too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
no,
I'm
okay.
not frozen now. I'm
No,
No,
not
you're not
my
frozen.
frozen.
internet's on. That's weird.
Yeah, you froze for a second. It was like no, it was a short time. You just went.
Ah, speaking about Judaism, let's not give it a kind of horror.
We won't give it a
I,
kinehara. Right. That's why we wear the red. That's why I have all these red bands on me.
Right, when you get by that for our non-Jewish folks, when you give someone a kind of horror, you're putting like the evil eye on
a
them,
jinx.
a
Poo poo poo
jinx.
poo 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 poo.
Right. Well, you
They
don't want
sell
to.
when you sew something on Elon or a kid, do you
You
have them chew
chew.
cotton?
Supposed to chew
Yes, they have
something.
to
Yeah.
chew. They just
But do
have to
you
go
do
like,
that, or
Do
yes,
did
I?
you do that?
I don't think
yes.
I
My
ever.
mom always made me chew.
My mom would do sew stuff on me and make me chew, but I never did that with my son. I said, take your shirt off or whatever. That's not
Yeah,
I did
my
that.
mom, not that my mom could sew anything. I
right.
was lucky she could sew a button on and usually was crooked.
Oh, my mom could sew. She was able to sew.
No,
She
no.
did
My
sew.
grandmother was a dress designer
Oh,
for Bergdorf's and
Well,
she could sew anything.
my
My
mom's
mom, me,
my mom's
no.
family, the schmata business. They did
I
very
know.
well. My both uncles, my grandfather, who I'm named
Yep.
after, they were all in the schmata business. And then my mom eventually, got into it. My uncles helped her a bit and she opened the store.
did you ever go up to the? I remember my dad sold ladies' coats.
Yeah.
That's 512 Broadway.
Yeah,
Whatever it was like in the
The
in the
co
in the
build. Oh no,
40s
512. Yeah,
or
512
in the
Broadway.
30s and
I
the 40s
the
in the
30s is
30s,
30s,
mostly
late
the
40s, early
garment
30s.
district.
40s.
Yeah,
I like
it's
8th
mostly the
Avenue.
30s.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think it's the
I
40s.
used to
Maybe
do
the 40s.
runway shows up there, and I used to be a house model for a coat company
Mm-hmm.
up there.
Right, right.
I used
Yeah,
to do a lot.
you did that. You did that stuff. I
Did a
remember.
lot.
You
Yeah.
know,
But it was the schmata
I know
business.
every single building, and I could tell you where everyone was.
Well, we used to drive
Irvington
to
Place.
Irvington Place Paul was just a wonderful guy. My mom would get all the samples and bring them back on Wednesdays. Oh
Mm-hmm.
God, that was talk about a white knuckle drive. Oh my God. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I've
I
been
well,
there many
I
times
don't
with you
know how I
guys.
survived those drives. I just don't
well,
know.
I told you, during my college days, when we had a week off or something and I needed money, I drove a cab. I had a hack license,
Oh God.
so we'd get a
My
cab.
ex-husband had one.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if someone wanted to go from the east side to the west side, it took especially like in the 40s and 50s, it was almost impossible with the traffic. And the joke
Right.
is how do you get from the east side to the west side during the weekday at 11 o'clock? And the
Walk.
answer is no, you don't get there. You have to be born there.
Oh boy. You weren't
I
even a
say
step.
walk.
It was yeah, walk is another one.
I
It's
would walk
impossible.
across town. I mean, that would
I
be, yeah, that's
no.
crazy.
I
Yeah, the
mean,
traffic, this
now
traffic is still nutty. Trust me.
now in Los Angeles is how do you get from the West Valley to the East Valley? You don't, like along Sepulveda Boulevard, along Burbank
Sepulveda,
Boulevard.
my favorite street.
The Slauson cutoff. Uh,
Oh my
Well,
God.
that was Johnny
I
Carson.
like calling it Sepulveda.
So
So
that's my favorite street because I could get anywhere in LA by Sepulveda.
yeah, I
I
remember
would
that.
take
I said, "How you getting
Sepulveda.
there?" Sepulveda.
I'm
Where did you
taking
go?
Sepulveda.
Sepulveda.
Yeah, that's one of the longest streets.
Very long.
Yeah, and
So,
I used to go, I take it to Wilshire, and then I turn onto Phil or Mitch's Street or Abby and Phil Street.
well, Palm
And it
Drive,
was,
you were able to,
yeah,
or go up to Almont or whatever.
Almont,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
the Slauson Avenue cutoff was, I think that was a big joke. I forget what the joke was, but Johnny
Johnny
Carson.
Carson.
Johnny Carson.
He did it. He did the joke. He did that. He did that whole thing. And he'd go and you go and you take Sepulveda to the Slauson cutout.
Cut
Cutout.
off.
I was
Yeah,
like,
because that's what I used to do coming back from the airport when I lived in Hollywood. You take
mhm.
Sepulveda Boulevard to the Slauson Avenue cutoff, and you got on the 101
Right.
or the
That's what
405.
he said. He said you couldn't miss the Slauson cutoff. You had to do that. It was very important. But the way he said it, the Slauson cutoff, it was
cut off.
But the question, did they have any diners there? How did we get talking about that with diners?
Well, we
Well,
always go,
diners was Dinah is a
It's a
diner.
diner.
They do have
well,
there's diners in LA. I mean, they have.
I don't
Oh, I meant
well,
Big Boy is a diner, pretty much, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
Big Boy's in the
yes,
Valley.
that's the original
Right?
Big
Big
Boys.
Boys, where you got sick in where was it?
I got it,
Utah?
no, in
Or
Arizona, the
Arizona
Grand Canyon.
Canyon.
I could have filled it up.
Awesome.
That was our thing when we went. The Grand Canyon is
Canyon.
awesome.
Awesome.
But Bryce is
Bryce Canyon
beautiful.
is beautiful.
I was at the
It is
Grand
beautiful.
Canyon,
It is.
and I went down the trail with a donkey or an ass. I don't know what they were, a mule.
Yeah.
Now we walked.
We walked.
And it took like about 3 hours to get down because the trail was narrow and icy.
Well, that's the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Right. Well, we went down, and it was in the summer. It was like 30 something degrees.
In the mornings, yeah.
We went to Vegas after that.
It was 110
and it was 100
degrees.
some.
And it's
It was the biggest gap in temperature I've ever experienced in my life. From 30
Well, don't
something
you remember
to
we were
110
going?
or something.
until last week.
No, well, don't forget we went to Angel Falls. We're going climbing up in Zion.
Mhm.
And then it was warm, and all of a sudden the temperature changed and it started hailing and
Right.
snowing. And we
That
watched.
was nuts.
That was nuts. And then next minute it's back to 80 degrees.
Right. It's talk about bizarre. Wow.
Or the
Yeah.
time we were in Palm Springs, we're sitting by the pool and it's hot. And
Mhm.
next minute as the wind picks up, it starts snowing. We
Right.
run back into Phil's condo
Right.
and it stopped and it was warm again.
And then we come out, and then the wind came, and then the tumbleweed. Remember, we got stuck
Yes.
on a road because it was blocked by tumbleweed. We couldn't
Tumbleweed.
get around the road. We wanted to go to the steakhouse, where they
All
had
the amigos.
all the amigos, which had
I'll never forget.
incredible. It was
Liver.
the liver. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good. Les and I would just devour it.
Well, speaking about
I had the steak. It was good.
But speaking about the weather and the winds is I remember in Coney Island there may be like 3 or 4 days out in the summer where it was really, really hot.
Yes, it is.
And I lived in an apartment house, so all my neighbors would sit outside with their beach chairs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they did that every
Brighton,
day, every
too.
night.
Right,
They
one,
did that
one-
right.
one would be one would be on the side of the gutter, and the other would be against the house. And then all of a sudden, a breeze would come by, and you had all the Jewish women go in unison.
It's a machaya.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
so
machaya.
good. A machaya.
Machaya.
Oy.
Yeah,
I don't know if non-Jewish people would appreciate it, but that's probably another word they say in Italian.
I'm sure. It doesn't
They all
matter what
sat out
denomination you are. Everybody sat outside. Everyone.
but-
And everyone spoke to
out
each
there.
other. We didn't really have any problems with anyone.
No.
No.
And there was always someone that had a portable radio, listening in the
Listen to the
summertime,
game.
listening either to the Dodgers, Giants, or
Yeah.
Yankees.
Do you believe this World Series, by the way? The Diamondbacks
Really?
versus the Rangers.
Rangers. It's like I have no desire to watch it.
I'm
Sorry.
not watching it. I'm not watching it. There's nothing to
Yeah.
watch.
Even
Except for-
Dennis,
There is,
who's a
if you were-
sports
if you're from
freak, will
Arizona.
not watch it.
I don't care. I think the Texas Rangers have 3 of the Mets the Mets are on that team now. They have Scherzer, DeGrom, and the other guy. And then Pham.
my
Pham is
thing
on
If they would have stayed,
Diamondbacks.
maybe the Mets would have won.
The NBA is started yesterday,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
and of course the Lakers lost.
Yeah, well,
Let's go. I have a question. We used to go back when we were kids. We used to go out for lunch every Thursday.
Right.
We were allowed to go out of school.
Right.
We used to go to a place called, it wasn't a diner, it was a luncheonette.
And they had a counter with the
They
chairs
had
so
a
you can sit.
counter. And
Molly
it was
and Jack's, right?
Jack's.
Molly
Or there
and-
was Seagulls.
Right. Which one?
Another
Molly
one.
and Jack's was cheaper. It was 50 cents
Yeah,
for a hamburger,
50
French
cents.
fries, and a Coke.
Coke.
we used to
Seagulls
go out
was
to
like
the sweet shop.
a little more.
Which one?
The
Molly
sweet
and
shop
Jack?
that was on the no sweet shop that was right across the street from Lincoln.
You're
That was
talking
that
about the Lincoln
Nats?
Diner?
That
No,
was
there
called
was
the sweet
Lincoln
shop.
Coffee?
wasn't. I know.
No.
I remember. There was a place called Nats,
No,
Oh,
and
I
then
used to go to
and
Nats.
then there was a there was another place
The
called
Lincoln Coffee House or
oh,
Lincoln
well, okay,
something.
it might have changed hands since I went to school. You guys are much older than me.
right,
Yeah.
right. It is a different. It was a different group, but we
Different
were able
era.
to get lime rickeys and
Lime
Yes.
Rickeys.
we were able to get shakes and all that there. They had the
And they
delicious
sold
shakes, the
penny
vanilla shakes with
candy.
the and the metal container they put it in right in front of you.
Front of
Then
you, and
poured the vanilla shake into the glass. It was
oh, and
awesome.
I used to
And
have to
my
drink
favorite
3 of
was
those a day
uh,
sometimes.
Mhm.
ice cream soda.
Yeah,
Vanilla ice cream soda.
Yeah,
I'm so
with
boring.
the ice cream,
well, they had root beer floats
seltzer,
also.
Yes, I
and
like Ruby floats.
Well, I like the egg clear. I mean the egg
Egg
cream.
egg
cream.
cream.
The chocolate and vanilla too.
Vanilla is the only one I
You're
didn't.
so
I'm weird.
weird.
I
You're
don't
just
like
so
chocolate milk. I
weird.
don't like chocolate. I could take or leave. Chocolate
Tomato
has to have
egg drop
something
soup.
in.
Ugh,
Yeah.
you're strange. But you don't eat strawberries. You're so weird.
No,
You
don't like
Anyway, guys, you
strawberries.
make me hungry, and I think I'm
uh,
gonna end
gotta
this
go get
show
some.
so I can have my lunch.
All right, go have your
Everyone,
lunch.
make sure you get some chicken chow mein, put it in a bun with noodles, a little bit of soy sauce.
Right.
That's chicken chow mein.
Chicken chow
And a
mein
little
and
bit of duck
Anyway,
sauce.
just to get you jealous,
Yum.
for lunch I'm having a bagel with
ooh,
cream
Oi,
cheese,
ooh,
abyssal lox,
oi, oi.
a
Wait,
red onion, and a
ooh.
tomato.
Boy, you
well,
going
that's
at
what
it,
Les
man.
is having. That's what Les is having for
Okay.
lunch on Saturday.
All right. He
Anyway,
likes
guys,
that
you have a
stuff.
good week, and I will
All right, guys. I will.
keep out of the rain, keep out of the heat,
It's not.
and
It
and
got warm.
It got hot. It's going to be 80
stay in the
degrees
house
on
with the air
Saturday.
Oh
conditioning.
God, wearing my
83
bathing suit.
80 degrees this Saturday. It's going to
in
be.
October,
The end of
Yeah,
at the
October.
end of October
the
in
end of
New
October.
Jersey.
Yeah,
Yes.
and New
And we're
York.
warmer because we're farther west.
Uh,
I'm at the very tip of the west side of
as my
Jersey.
cousin would say, "Gut to new."
Oi,
Gutting
gutting
you.
you.
Oy
I'm
That's
vey,
what
oh
gutting
my
you.
God.
my mother-in-law Gloria would say. Oi, gutting you all the time. All right,
Okay, now we know the three of us are Jewish.
all right.
Oi,
Let there be peace on earth. All
let
right,
there
guys.
be
Be
peace
peace
on
on earth.
earth
Go
and
forth and prosper. Bye.
begin with
Ciao.
me. Maine.
Bye.